Coach said you're the great-grandson?
Yes.
Great-grandson?
Great-grandson. Yes.
What, I mean, that's got to be an amazing experience to be the lineage and you're out there on the sidelines. What's that like?
Oh yeah, it's I was pretty much raised Grambling football, and I remember as a baby and just growing up as an adolescent, I remember the Broderick Fobs as a running back. I remember the Kendrick Norris as a quarterback. I remember the Fred Jones, the Jake Reeds, and now that I'm coaching now here, you really realize how special this university is. And I mean, just being around my grandfather's presence, it was a complete honor. But being a kid, you didn't realize how big he was. It was just grandpa to me. But now that he's gone and just being back here, you realize, this guy was almost bigger than the world, almost. And it's just an honor.
Was that always kind of in the back of your mind, like, this is where I want to end up, this is what I want to be doing, kind of following his footsteps, be on the sideline in that stadium?
Oh yeah, it was always something that I thought about. I coached high school football in Georgia for the past 8 years, and when the opportunity presented itself for me to come back home, it was almost a no-brainer for me to come back, so yeah.
What's the best story you got about him?
It's a lot. The best, I would say, the countless hours he would put going. I don't know if you guys remember this house on Adams Street. He would go in this little back room all the way in the back of the house, and pretty much every night, at least 3 or 4 hours of just watching film. And just me going in there, I didn't realize at the time I was playing with books or playing with toys, but just the amount of time he put in to football made me realize how important it was to him, but also how important it was for Grambling football to be successful. And that's probably I wouldn't say it's just necessarily a story, but it's just the work he put in.
Being on the opening scene of More Than Victories to playing in Notre Dame to coaching high school football in Georgia, how did coming here, come to pass? How did it happen? You ended up here.
Well, it started back when I talked to Coach Fobbs about a year ago, and me and him always kept in touch. And he called me one night and presented the opportunity, for me to come back here. And I talked it over with my family, and like I said, it was a no-brainer for me to come back. It was something that was always in the back of my head, that I always eventually wanted to come back if the opportunity to present itself. And like I said, when Coach offered me the job, I was ready to come back.
Looking at Saturday's game, I mean, defensively, you get 2 50-plus yard touchdowns, whole Jackson saved under 300 yards for the game. It's hard not to give that a pretty solid grade on the defensive end. What kind of confidence can you guys take from that kind of a performance?
Oh, it was a lights out game, but it started with our preparation during the week, and every week Coach Todd preaches to us, to the guys, of just being prepared and taking one play, one game at a time. And I think it all started with our preparation throughout the week. We practice turnovers, causing turnovers in practice every day. We practice our tackling every day. And just like Coach said, with this being a third-year system, guys are more comfortable in the scheme. And I think right now we've just scratched the surface. And we're kind of seeing the fruits of our labor right now. But it's all about just going 1-0 every weekend. Hopefully we can continue on building, with our turnovers and just being successful on defensive end.
Do you think this program right now is as close to where it was back when Rob was here? Doug certainly has some success, and there's been a couple of coaches that have had some good years, 1 or 2 straight. But this is the first time in a long time that I get to feel that this program's kind of entrenched, and you can see it's here for the long term, and that everybody's pretty happy with the direction and the expectation. The bar is a lot higher.
Absolutely, and that starts with Coach Fobbs. He's preached to us about expectations here at Grambling, and the coaches have bought in, the players have bought in, and I think, like you said, we're in for the long haul. It's an expectation here at Grambling State University, and that's to win both on and off the field. And I think our kids are buying into that, and I think we're here for the long haul.
So you were not here last year, is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay, but I mean, keeping up with the program, I'm sure you heard about the conference championship game, and I'm sure you've sensed how much that's kind of fueled the team this offseason. To get Alcorn State now, in the hole, facing the team that eliminated the Tigers last year, how much of a revenge factor, of a hunger factor, do you feel there is with this team going into Saturday?
Well, just like Coach Bailey said earlier, anytime you lose in the championship game, that's going to be added motivation going into the offseason. And I was privileged to be here during the offseason, during the winter and summer months, but it was just added motivation for the guys to realize that we got close, but we didn't finish the drill. And I think that's one of the keys for us going forward is we have to finish. And, fortunately, Alcorn's our next opponent, and Coach always says we have to protect our home first. And I think the ultimate goal is just go 1-0. But, it's always going to be added revenge once you've gotten that close, but you didn't finish. So I just think it's a no-brainer for us to, just continue on trying to get better every day, and hopefully Saturday we'll come out victorious.
How do you rate the play of Arquez Cooper?
Well, with this being my first year, I've heard about Arquez Cooper, and just being able to see his practice habits, how he acts on and off the field. The kid is a special individual, and I think the sky's the limit with him. He's very soft-spoken, but when he's on the field, he's a different animal. And with him being able to play multiple positions, especially within the scheme of our defense, it really shows the type of athlete that the kid is, and especially with his size and his range, I think the sky's the limit with him. But he's an excellent leader both on and off the field, and I think that's one of the most important aspects of his development.
The offense has created all the headlines the last couple of years. The defense playing so well. How much you think the defense makes this team just that much more effective, I guess? Kind of, I don't want to say the missing link, but just a more complete team as a whole.
Well, I think that, with the defense, like I said earlier, being in his third year in the scheme, guys are a lot more comfortable. I think with the defense coming along now, I think the sky's the limit with us, but we still have a lot of improvement to do defensively with little things, and I think it goes back again to our preparation. But I think it's just an added bonus for us to continue on being successful down the future.
Okay, off subject. How do you feel about your cousin Chloe and being a kicker?
I love it. I know a lot of individuals, a little shocked, because she's a female. Mm-hmm. But I mean, at the end of the day, she's a Robinson, and she loves football as well. She's a great soccer player, and she's actually becoming a good football player now too, kicking field goals. So I mean, I love it, and I'm proud of her.